is Chapter 6, Annuities. So first things first is when I think of an annuity, I think of it like an investment, okay? Because most people, when you hear annuities, you go, I don't know what that is. But if you think, oh, it's an investment, oh, okay, I got it. Now, first thing is, it is not life insurance. So if you see a question asking about life insurance, the answer will not be annuities. And same thing, if the question's asking for annuities, the answer will not be life insurance. Now, they are both sold by life insurance companies, but they are not the same thing. I always think of them like apple and oranges, right? They're both fruit, right? Apple and oranges, both fruit. You can buy them in the same place, in the same area, but they aren't the same thing. So same thing here is life insurance and annuities. You can buy them in the same place. They are similar in you know the area that you would get them, but they are two different things. They have two different purposes, okay? An annuity is there to liquidate an estate. Liquidate an estate. Life insurance is to create an estate. So if you see create an estate, that means you're looking at life insurance. If you see liquidate an estate, that means you're looking at annuities, okay? Now, the parties that are involved in an annuity, you have the owner. The owner is the one that pays for the annuity, the one that puts the money in. You have the annuitant. The annuitant is the one that takes the money out of an annuity. Now, why are these two separate things? Because they could be the same person, but it could be two different people. That's why they're two different terms. Now, an example of it being the same person, if I use an annuity for my retirement, I'm the owner, I'm putting the money in, and I'm going to take it out for my retirement. So that's an example of it being the same person. Now, an example of it being two different people, let's say this annuity is for a college fund. The parent is most likely the person paying for the annuity, but the child is the one going to take the money out once they're old enough and start going to college. So that's an example of it being two different people. A beneficiary, just like in life insurance terms, is the person that gets the money if the annuitant passes away and doesn't get the full money that they were supposed to. Accumulation versus annuity period. Now, the accumulation period is the part of the annuity when your money is growing. It's growing, it's accumulating, right? Now, how does money grow? By putting money in. So accumulation period could also be called the pay-in period. And again, who is that done by? The owner. The owner pays in, okay? The next one is annuity period. Now, if you see in parentheses, there's different names for the same thing. It could be the annuitization period, the liquidation period, or it can be the payout period, right? Because you're taking the money out of the annuity. Now, who does this is the annuitant and sometimes the beneficiary if the annuitant has passed. Now, how do you pay the premiums in an annuity? Single premium means that you pay one payment. Level and flexible, okay? Level, it means that your payments are the same and you pay them on the same day. So if it's the 10th of a month and you pay $100, so every 10th of the month you pay $100, right? Flexible, on the other hand, is the amount you pay can vary, and when you pay it can also vary. So if you're paying, $50 this month, $100 next month, you were paid on the 5th, you pay it on the 6th, you pay it on the 30th, you can just pay it whenever and however much you want. Now, when do you start taking the money out, right? If you start taking the money out of an annuity within the first year of having the annuity, then this is considered an immediate annuity. Okay, within the first year, it's considered an immediate annuity. And the only way you can get an immediate annuity is if you pay a single premium. If you pay one big payment all in the beginning, then you would be able to take the money out within the first year, right? If you don't, then you wouldn't be able to take the money out in the first year. So a deferred annuity, the definition of the word deferred, it means in a later time. So not right now, later, right? So if you're taking the money out deferred, it means you're not taking the money out now, you're going to be taking it out later. So anything after a year is considered deferred. So if it's a year later, if it's 2 years later, if it's 10 years later, 50 years, it doesn't matter. Anything after a year is considered deferred. And if you want a deferred annuity, you can pay any way you want. If you want to pay single, level, pay level, flexible, pay flexible. All of the deferred policies, you can pay any way you want. Okay, now, how are premiums invested? So what type of accounts are annuities invested in? A fixed annuity, okay, you're looking at general accounts, okay, general accounts. And there's a current versus guaranteed minimum interest rate, whichever pays higher. So what does that mean? You have a guaranteed minimum interest rate, which let's say in this example is 3%. So you have a minimum of 3%. So let's say the current interest rate goes down to 1. What are you going to get? You're going to get your guarantee, which is 3, right? So if the current interest rate goes below your guarantee, then you're going to get your guarantee. But if it goes above your guarantee, then you might get whatever's higher. So if it's at 4%, then you'll get 4%. Now, if I'm the insurance company and I made, we made 1%, but we still have to pay you 3%, who loses money, the client or the company? The company, right? Because the company, we've made 1, but we still have to pay out the 3. So if you see right here, this bullet point, it says the insurance company assumes the risk. So who has the risk in a fixed annuity? The insurance companies. And this does not keep pace with inflation. Now, equity index annuity, if you see the word index, look for the S&P 500 or the Standard & Poor 500. Okay, the next one, market value adjusted annuity. All you really need to know, they don't really test you much on this one, is you're just adjusting. Okay, you're just changing the amount based on the market. Okay, variable annuities. So variable annuities, growth is not guaranteed. Why? Because unlike a fixed annuity, variable annuities does not have a guarantee 3%, right? You don't have a guaranteed percentage. That means if it goes down to 1, you get 1, right? So you don't have a guarantee. So who do you think holds the risk in this annuity? So if the insurance company holds the risk in a fixed annuity, the policy owner assumes the risk in a variable annuity. Now, what type of accounts do variable annuities have? They have separate accounts. This is a security, which means that you need 2 licenses. You need a life license and a securities license. And again, securities license is your investment license. Okay? Now, let's say you get to that point where you're going to start taking money out. There are different options that you have available to you. So there's the life only option, which means it only pays for your life, the annuitant's life. So let's say I'm the annuitant. If it's a life only, it means I'm taking money out while I'm alive. The moment I pass away, even if there's any money left in the annuity, that's it. No more money is being paid out because it's only life only. Pure life or straight life, it's just the annuitant's life. Now, the other options have a beneficiary. Life with guaranteed minimum basically means that it's going to be the life of the annuitant. So let's say it's me, I'm taking the money out, I pass away. My beneficiary will get the rest of the money. And this is the one that guarantees that all the money will be paid out. So if you see the second bullet point, this option could also be called refund life because it's going to give you everything. Okay? The last one for these options is life with payments are period certain. Again, life, my life, so I'm alive, I'm getting money, I pass away. Period certain means that my beneficiary will get money for a certain amount of years after I pass, if there's money left. Now, single versus multiple life. So a joint life, just like in life insurance, first, right? So basically, let's say there's 2 people. Let's say it's me and you, we're taking money out, right? So we're both getting money out of our annuity together and one of us passes away. The moment one of us passes away, everyone stops getting money. with our joint and survivor, what happens is we're both getting money, right? One of us passes away, the other person will continue to get money. The only thing is they probably won't be getting as much as they were. So if, let's say, they were getting some money, they'll probably get half or 2/3 of what they were getting before, but they are still going to get money. And then once they pass away, then the money will stop. And again, if you see fixed period, that's an amount of time. If you see fixed amount, that's an amount of money. Now, what are uses for annuities? What would you use an annuity for, right? Lump sum settlement. You get a big sum of money, you use that money, you put it in an annuity, and now you've created a stream of income for yourself. Okay? Education funds, like college funds for kids. Long-term care needs. If I want to create an account so that when I get older, my children don't have to try to pay to put me into like a nursing home or anything, this could pay for that. Okay, business uses. A lot of businesses use annuities for retirement for their employees. Okay, and the last one is your retirement income. Like you can use it for your retirement. Now going into a qualified or versus non-qualified annuities, a qualified annuity or a qualified plan, it's just a fancy way to say retirement plan. Okay? Qualified plan is a retirement plan, right? Because if I say retirement plan, you're like, oh, I know what that is. But if I say qualified plan, you go, I don't even know what that is, right? So if you see qualified plan, just think retirement plan. Okay, now a qualified plan, characteristics of a qualified plan is, okay, that this is going to be for an employee, like an everyday employee, not someone that holds a high position and makes a lot of money. So this is going to be for an everyday employee account, right? So if you see, it says it's designed for the benefit of the employee and their beneficiary. It's formally written to communicate with employees. So if you see, this is all pretty much based for employees. Okay, it is used to contribute. Use a contribute formula that does not discriminate. Now, when they mean does not discriminate based on money. Like, oh, that person has a better position, therefore they make more money, therefore they'll get a better retirement plan. No. Qualified plan gives everyone the same option. Okay? They're not specifically geared towards high compensated employees. They are permanent and they are approved by the IRS. So if the IRS approves it, what do you think happens when it comes to taxing? They're not going to be so hard on the taxing because the IRS is behind a qualified plan and it has a vesting requirement. Now, a qualified plan receives favorable tax treatment. Like I said, the IRS is behind a qualified plan. Okay, the employee's the employer's contributions are tax deductible. Means the employer can write this off their taxes as a business use, right? Employees' contributions are not taxed until when? Until they start taking the money out. So that means they can put money in and they're not even being taxed. They're not going to be taxed until they start taking the money out for retirement. Okay, and growth during accumulation, again, is tax deferred. Remember, deferred means in a later time. So if you're tax deferred, it means you're not taxed now, you're taxed later. Now, again, they cannot discriminate based on highly favored employees. Now, a non-qualified plan, on the other hand, can discriminate based on high compensated employees. So they can say, if you make more money, you'll get a better plan than that person, right? But because they do that, most likely the IRS is going to be more heavy on the taxation. So contributions are not taxed, are not exempt from taxation. They are not backed by the IRS. This is something that if someone wants to do it this way, they're going to be more strict on them. Okay, types of qualified plans. So you got the individual retirement annuity, or how most people know it is an IRA. If it's an individual retirement annuity, you must earn income. Now, earned income means you have to do something to make that money. So, unemployment, that's not earned income. Investments, that's not earned income because you're not working to make that money. So salary, wages, commissions, those are considered earned income because you're working to make that money. Okay, now you can contribute up to a certain amount. Now, the amount has changed, but what's really important is that when you have that specified amount that they say you can put up to this much, you can't pass that number, whatever the number is. So if you do pass the number, see that last bullet point says excess contributions are what? Penalized 6%. If you go over that specified amount, they do penalize you. Now, this is called an individual retirement annuity. So what happens if we have a married couple? Since it's an individual retirement annuity, each person in that couple will have their own accounts, but they can make payments together. But again, they have two separate accounts, and both accounts can only go up to that specified amount. So they can't say, let's put 10 grand in that one and 5 in that one. Like, no, it has to be split in the correct amount, okay? But again, but they still have two separate accounts because it's an individual retirement annuity. Now, a tax sheltered annuity, or TSAs or 403Bs, this is for nonprofit organizations. Easiest example is school systems. These are the accounts that teachers get. And what they do is they take the money out for the retirement prior to cutting the check for teachers. So therefore, they won't be taxed on the money they're putting into the annuity. Okay, suitability. Suitability is just basically means that not every person would get the same annuity, right? Every person would get something different. So suitability is, what do we look at to determine what's best for you? So age, right? We look at age, marital status, occupation, dependence, your annual income, your other source of income, and insurance needs and other information. Based on this, we can say your situation, you would need this annuity, right? Because every person, again, has something different, a different need. Senior consumers. So for your test, a senior consumer is anyone considered 65 and older is considered a senior consumer. And when you're dealing with anyone 65 and older, they expect you to do good faith, fair dealing, and being honest, right? Now, if you guys have ever watched commercials, right? When you watch a commercial, you know who the commercial is geared towards, right? You know that, oh, who are they targeting? Kids. Who are they targeting? Adults. Who are they targeting? You know, the older people, right? Now, how do we know this? Is by the visuals, by the sounds, things like that. If you see, you know, kids shooting like nerve guns and everyone going, wow, man, that's so cool, bang, boom, you know that that's for a kid, because the kid's gonna go, man, whatever it is, I want it, right? And adults, you know, it's something that's like, if it's like you gotta, you know, Pepsi, chips, things like that, most likely that's more geared towards adults. If it's during a football game, it's not going to be geared towards a kid. It's going to be geared towards the audience watching it, which is most likely adults. Now, when you're talking about an ad for a senior consumer, it would most likely be probably black and white, very simple. And then at the end, there's going to be a huge number on the screen, right? They make it big so you can't miss it. It's seen, right? So if you guys have ever seen that commercial, the old lady falls down the stairs. She goes, oh, I've fallen and I can't get up, right? And she presses her life alert necklace, right? She presses the button. And then the next scene is the ambulance. And then all it says is what? Call now. That's it. That's all they need to know. It's black and white. So same thing, if we're dealing with the senior consumer, we need to be so black and white that they don't have any questions or any concerns. So when they say, oh, I want to put my money in a variable annuity, we already know the variable annuity is risky for them. So I need to be black and white and be like, that's a risk for you, right? When you deal with the senior consumer, you need to be completely honest, because there are some people, sadly, that take advantage of the older consumers, right? Because most likely they're a little more trusting and things like that. So actually people will be fined if you're caught taking advantage of an elder person. So if it's $1,000 for a first violation and 5,000 to 50 grand for second or subsequent, right? Now, disclosures. Again, if someone said they want to put their money in a variable annuity, I need to make it known that to them that they are at risk. Now, if they decided, you know what, no, I still want to put my money there. So for the first 30 days, I'm going to tell them, in the first 30 days, I'm actually going to put your money in a fixed annuity because it's more safe. And why am I doing this? Is because I'm giving you another 30 days to really think about your choice. Okay, and after 30 days, if you haven't changed your mind, then I'll move it over to a variable annuity, right? We're doing that for the safety of their money, right? And if they said, no, Sarah, I want my money straight into a variable annuity right now, that is the only way I would ever put their money in a variable annuity, is if after I told them everything, they decided, no, I still want to put my money straight into there, I'm not going to wait the 30 days, then I'm going to do it. But I've already done my part to make it clear that this is the risk for them. Okay? And that is the end of chapter 6, annuities.